I'm going to start out with a little joke today. And they're a tough act to follow, so hopefully I can. Okay, it's called knitting and driving. An old lady was knitting as she was driving down the highway, not paying any attention to the road. Pretty soon a police officer pulls up alongside her and yells, "Pull over!" And the lady yells back, "No, mittens!" Today it's texting. It's kind of scary. One big announcement I'd like to make is that this year is Hired Hands Homecare 20th year being in business. So with that, I thought it would be appropriate to talk about change today. And I'll refer to the 20 years that we've been around. So what does change look like specifically in the home care industry? Well, in the past 20 years, we've seen increased competition. When Hired Hands Homecare opened their doors in 1994, 20 years ago, there was maybe one other home care agency in the county. Yeah. Now there's about 30 or more, all doing great work. Big changes with regulations and more required education. A big one this year for home care agencies was the Assembly Bill 241. And with that, where the home care companies are regulated now with overtime, mandatory breaks, I just went blank, minimum wage requirements, and really regulating how we structure our 24 live-in shifts. By 2016, all caregivers and home care agencies will be required to be licensed. So big changes from like 20 years ago. I also think about the folks that we're caring for now, the World War II generation, and what it's going to look like when the boomer generation comes in.
Ugly.
Yeah. One of the most favorite things about my job and being in this industry is all the interesting people that I meet. And I go out and I do the initial assessments. And so it's always really, really exciting to think, who am I going to meet today? And a lot of those people are retired professors, doctors, nurses, teachers, diplomats, and more. And as I get to know them, because I do visit with them throughout the time that we care for them, I get to ask them even more questions about who they are and where they came from and what did they do. One of my favorite questions to ask my 80 and 90-year-olds is change. What was the biggest change you saw in your life that made a big difference? And a lot of them, most of them women, say the washing machine. That was huge. And indoor plumbing. And today, when I ask them, what about recent changes you see today? Well, most of them tell me that they never would have thought that we would have had an African-American president or a retirement community built specifically for the LGBT population, which is all pretty cool. And then I kind of wonder, well, what's the boomer generation going to tell me? What was the big change for them when they were growing up? So I kind of figure, well, maybe they marched for civil rights. Maybe they did spend 3 whole days at Woodstock. They probably do remember the first cell phone. It was big. It was like in a box. I remember that.
Color TV.
Yeah, color TV. That'd be another big one.
Birth control pill.
Yeah, birth control pills. I thought about that this morning. Yeah, that's when Free Love came out. So, the reason why all of this is important is because when we're providing care for these people, it's not just about helping them get dressed and put their shoes on and give them a meal. It's also knowing who they are and where they came from, which makes us do our job even better. And so for the next 20 years, Hired Hands Homecare is ready for that journey, and we all know that there's change. We walk with change hand in hand, and I will be honored and pleased to be walking alongside of them. Thank you.